So for the past two videos, I've been working on a series with Google Antigravity. So that included setting up Google Workspace MCP server, Notion MCP server, along with 3 agentic workflows that do various things in your Google Workspace and as well as Notion. Now, this whole thing has been working great, and I can execute these workflows by typing in the prompt here and telling the agent which file to run. But I decided to make it even easier and added a really cool UI interface, sort of like a dashboard right here. Now this is really exciting because it was easier than I thought to build. Now this whole setup was very easy to set up. It just took one prompt. It shows you the weather API, which I'll show you how to get. There's a console that shows the logs. There's a little bit of information on the top, sort of extra things that the agent added there, and then it's all just controlled by these 3 buttons there. So whenever I click run workflow underneath the appropriate workflow there, it'll execute it on the background here in Antigravity. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to build a dashboard just like the one that I just showed you. Now I'm going to be doing this completely from scratch. It's going to be looking a little bit different than the one that I just built because I didn't specify everything exactly. I just gave it a general guideline how to build it. I prioritized how it works. So I'll show you how to set it up with the single prompt, which of course I'll show you how to get for free on my GitHub. And then of course, because we're vibe coding, you're going to run into a little bit of hiccups. So I'm going to test it out. I'll show you how to troubleshoot those things as they come up. But it's easier than you think, and you're going to have all the power of the first 2 episodes that I created, and it's all going to be done with a simple click, and it's going to be done with a nice dashboard. You can add whatever information you want, which I'll show you how to do. If this is something that you're interested in building, keep watching and I'll show you how to set it up. Welcome everybody to my channel. My name is David. I show you how to build AI agents and automations. Now, I haven't put it here at the time of recording, but I'm going to add it. There's my GitHub, which I will link in the description below, as well as the links to anything that you'll need, which should just be the weather API. But there's going to be a table of contents here. There's going to be the first episode, and then I have the second episode in here as well. And then I'll add the third episode, which is just going to contain the steps and the prompt that I use to build this dashboard. I have some test data here, like these meetings. I have some extra files in here for meeting docs to replicate the meeting planner, and then some test emails here as well, just to play around with. So right now, like I said, there's nothing of that showing up here. I'm going to be starting the whole thing from scratch. That's enough talking for me. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing is going to be super easy. It's just getting an API key for the weather. Now that is how I got this widget here that tells me the weather. So now just to add a little bit of extra stuff there to make it convenient. Honestly, you can probably throw in some extra stuff if you wanted to. You can probably get some information online. But that's the thing I'm going to be adding. Just super quick. I'll put a link in here in the description, but you just go to openweathermap.org/API. I'm just going to sign up for an account here. Create a username, and then just agree to these. You're over 16. Agree. I'm not a robot. Cool. Gotta do this. All right, so you enter in your information, create account. I'm just going to cancel that. All right, so then all you have to do is just click API keys over here, and then you're going to get your key here. So you just copy that and put it in a notepad on the side, and we are going to use that for later. So I'm just going to go ahead and close that, and that's pretty much it for the weather stuff. I'll show you how to get the whole thing prepared and ready to go for the dashboard build. Okay, so if you've been following along for the episode 1 and episode 2, you should have a setup that looks kind of like this, a folder structure like that. If you don't, go ahead and watch episode 1 and 2. I will link them down below. If you have your own workflows and your own setup connected with your own MCP server, you can probably do the same thing as well. If you want to go ahead and follow along, give it a try, see how it works. But anyways, right in the root of the file, there's this .env right here. Okay, so once you open that .env file, you should have your secret key here from Notion connection. This is where you're going to have that. And then you want to add 2 more lines here. All right. And again, I'll have this all in the template that you can copy over. But we're just going to add these 2 variables right here. One's for, or both of them are for the weather API key. One's going to specify city. Just going to change it up a little bit. Let's do something different. Let's just do Los Angeles. Let's do something different here. I'm just going to do Vancouver, just another city in Canada. And then the API key, this is where you're going to paste it. So if you go to your notepad where you saved it or wherever you saved it, just paste it right in there. That's what your whole setup is going to look like. And that's it. You're good to go. Let's start building. Okay, so once you're finished making those changes in your .env, make sure to save that. There's going to be a bunch of files that are going to be created here. You're not going to have to create any of them. Antigravity is going to do that for you. And again, this prompt is going to be on my GitHub after I'm done recording here. Right here, I'm just giving it basically what I want, how I want this dashboard built. Again, one single prompt. And for this, I'm just sticking with Gemini 3.5 Flash. This model was good enough to build this site. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I did run into a couple of hiccups, which were easy to troubleshoot. But feel free to try these other models right here. They are a little bit more advanced for building apps, in my opinion. And by they, I mean Anthropic models. But anyways, I have this all here. I'm just using Gemini 3.5 Flash. Let's go ahead and hit enter. All right. So right here, it's just understanding what I want. It's going to start running some commands here. I'm just going to hit allow for these. All right. We're vibe coding, guys. All right. So it came up with this implementation plan. It's going to tell me how it's going to be built. So it's just giving me the outline of the tech stack that it's going to be using for the build. If you like what the implementation plan says, or if you just want a yellow like me right here, just go ahead and click proceed. While this is all building, I just want to bring up, if you're going to be experimenting something like this, just make sure you're using a test account, just like I am in this video. Just a test account with not a lot of emails, just to make sure that you're not breaking anything on your main email. All right, so as you can see, all these files here are being built by the agent. The neat thing about Antigravity, and you're going to see in a moment here, it's going to open right now. It's going to open up a browser. It's going to load the site, and it'll test it out for you. All right, so first look, this is what it is. There's the weather app working, and I'm not going to touch anything here as the AI is going to do all the mouse movement here. It looks quite similar to the intro that I showed you here. So it's just doing a series of tests here. If you see those or that sort of blue outline that kind of looks like a light, that's when Antigravity has control of the browser. As soon as those go away, then you can start moving the mouse around yourself and testing your site, which is what we're going to do. Now, the neat thing about this part is that Antigravity will find errors that it runs into, and then it'll try to fix it itself, which is pretty handy. But what we're going to do once it's, it should be almost done here. Once it's completed doing its testing, I'm going to click the buttons myself, see if I'm running any issue. The cool thing about this terminal, looks like it's all done. The cool thing about this terminal is that if something happens, it breaks, it doesn't work, it'll show you the error message in there, and then you can copy and paste that, send it over to Antigravity, and then it should make the appropriate changes to fix that error. So that's what happened with one of my tests when I was testing this with the other app. And then I was able to fix it just with one fixing prompt. But who knows, maybe I'll be lucky here and it'll all work on the first go. But just in case that is the situation here, I just wanted to share how I did my troubleshooting. But if it happens, I'll do it right here. So let's go ahead and do some testing. Okay, so I still have all of my testing data here. Oh, that's when I signed up for my account. Let's go ahead and test all the buttons out. So I did a test with this one, said it worked. Now, when I click this button, what I should get is an email after this one from me, just like this was just from an earlier test. Another email with a daily briefing, as I demonstrated in episode 1. So let's go ahead and click that button. So I'm going to click right here. All right, it's running. So it says here that it was successful. All right, and then that the output was sent to that email, just like it specified in the workflow. Now, when I was testing, there was a bit of a delay and I thought it wasn't working. So I kept hitting it, and then I ended up with multiple test emails, but let's see. Refresh. All right, so I waited a little bit, gave it a couple refreshes. Looks like I'm not getting that email, which is actually pretty good to demonstrate the troubleshooting, that is. All right, so it said success, but it didn't actually work. So there's no error message for me to send to Antigravity. So let's do this. I clicked on start my workday. The console said it was successful, but I did not get the summary in my email. All right, basically describing everything that happened. Just try to be as specific as possible. There's not really much to it, so it wasn't a long prompt. So I'm gonna hit enter for that. Gonna take my prompt. It's gonna take a look at all the code that I just built, and it's gonna fix any problems. All right, so like I said, when you're vibe coding an app, this is bound to happen. You're not gonna get it perfect all the time. So we're gonna have it take a look at the code and see if it can fix its problems. Now, during the testing process, I didn't have too much problems. I believe it was just one error with Google Workspace, then everything started pretty much working, and then one with Notion. So if that happens, I'll show you how I troubleshooted that as well. All right, so Antigravity kind of got stuck, so I reset the prompt here. Looks like it's actually going through the changes now. All right, so it looks like it's gonna go ahead with an implementation plan. So it didn't happen in this prompt or when I was testing. I tried various prompts of trying to getting this to work. In the very early stages, it was asking me about a Gemini API key. So just to confirm, that's not what we want to use here. You want to use Antigravity's instance. So what the UI dashboard is using is a bridge between that front-facing page to Antigravity as the backend. So it should be using your Antigravity subscription, not a separate API key for Gemini or whatever model that you're using. So if it asks for an API key like that, just tell it that you don't want to use the API key. You want to use Antigravity's instance using a bridge. If you say it like that, it'll know what to do and it'll correct itself. Again, it didn't happen to me in this prompt. However, if you run into this type of issue, just make sure you keep that in mind. All right, so I went through its implementation plan. It's finished doing its thing. I think it's just gonna restart, the app here. However, while it's doing its testing, it did test while it was making the changes, and I did see this come through. So there we go. There is the daily briefing. So these looks like it cut me off there. Just gonna test them one more time. Let me bring that back. So these are the meetings here that I have booked. If I go to the calendar, there they are. It looks like it got the locations right here as well. So that's nice to see. High priority emails. There's that test email that I sent. Unread inboxes, and it just sends me a whole summary, just like how I demonstrated in the first video, episode 1 of the Start My Workday. All right, cool. So there's troubleshooting step number 1 let's go ahead and test this clean my inbox. So if I click on that, what it should do is that it should label these emails right here. So I cleared out what was here before, just so it's easier to see, but all of these should show up in these categories once it's all completed. I don't have anything here for deleting, but we'll go ahead and test that out. So there's just that workflow right there. All right, clean my inbox, run workflow. All right, so this part's taking a little bit longer, which is nice to see. It just shows that it's actually connecting and doing something instead of instantly saying it worked. I get a little suspicious when something like that happens too quickly. All right, it shows the instructions here, the output of the actions taken. It says it's successful. So let's go take a look at my inbox. Vendors. Oh, you know what? Let me refresh. There we go. I learned that from the last video. I had to refresh. Vendors, projects, and clients. It all organized them there nicely. Perfect. So that is 2 out of 3 working. That's really good to see. That is really good to see. Now, the last one that I did, once it finished running its thing, it just went back to normal. Here, this one, if I hit close, then it goes back to normal. So little quirks like that, you'll probably find if you do it. So let's go ahead and test the last one, which is the Notion. So what I expect to happen here is that it'll go through my calendar. It'll find those 2 test meetings that showed up earlier, and it'll help me prepare for those meetings. It'll add that information here in my Notion database. So let's go ahead and test it out. Okay. This one also said it's successful. All right. It did outline its summary. I think it did partial work. It did see the meetings and the information, but I don't see this in Notion. It does show up right away. I don't have to close or reopen or anything like that. So this is sort of what I was expecting to see from the Notion side of things for the prep my meetings. So, all right, so similar thing here. I'm just gonna tell the agent, it read the instructions, it brought out all the output, but I didn't see the summary in my database. All right, so what I'm typing in here is similar thing to the last one. Just said, hey, I clicked the button. It said, it said that it worked, but I didn't see it in my Notion database. So I'm gonna hit enter there and let it work. Let it do its thing. It's gonna work through it. It's analyzing that workflow. And let's see if the changes that it makes here will fix the issue and post to our Notion database. Okay, similar to the last test here, looks like the email was sent, then it got stuck somewhere, then it fired off when the app was making its changes. Looks like the same thing happened here. So now these are showing up after it did its test, and it's telling me what the changes were. Let's, I still want to do a live test. So I'm going to delete these. These were just created. It has the, oh no, these 2. Let's just delete them all. I'm going to delete them all. All right, so this is completely empty. Let's do that one more time. I just want to be 100% sure that this works. So it's running through its steps there. This should pop up automatically once it says it's finished doing its summary. Oh, there we go. 2 meeting preps, one with Contoso, one with ABC Company. And then now this is saying that it's completed. Awesome, that's really good. So again, each of these fixes was a prompt. The first one, Antigravity got stuck. I just had to resend it. But it looks like all these are working. So you click a button and it executes the workflow. You can add more right here. You can add more workflows. You can have other APIs connected to other things. Maybe you want trading charts, other information, news, etc. It can all be added in there. Just add the API keys in the .env file. Tell the agent what to add, how you want it to look, and it'll add all those things there for you. All right, there you have it. So all of the things that we built in episode 1 and 2 have all been visually placed into a dashboard, which you can personalize any way you want, adjust the prompt if you want it built a certain way. But this is really easy. You just load this up, click the button, and it starts your workflow, and it runs exactly how it was when we tested it with Antigravity. One quick thing here before I end everything. I'm just going to, and I just thought of this just now, I'm going to ask the app to just create a script. So all you have to do is just click on it and it opens up your app. All right, so it created the script. This should be similar in all OSs. Not sure about Mac. I know in Windows, if you right click, you have this option to open in terminal. And then if I enter this command, it should start the app. So let's test this out. I'm going to close it. Start. All right, and there we go. So just a little quick thing to make life easier. Whenever you want to open your dashboard, just do it like that. It'll give you the instructions on how to run the file depending on what operating system you're running, whether that's Mac or Windows. So just another tip there to use this. But that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. I hope it was really useful for you and it makes your life easier. I'm really excited to be showing other things with other tools such as Claude, other anti-gravities, and I haven't forgot about N8N, so I'm going to be building some automations with that as well. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy watching, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. In the meantime, enjoy your brand new dashboard for your AI assistant. I will see you in the next one.